Hello everybody, welcome back to another brand new F1 2019 League Racing video. The final one on 2019 as well. We're here for the finale of the Transnation eSports Oceania Regionals here at Abu Dhabi. This took place last Thursday, so if anybody watched the actual stream on the Transnation channel, you would already know the outcome and what went on, and yeah, some interesting things that happened during the race, but I won't talk about them right now. They can wait until later on. But just before we get everything underway, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody who tuned in Sunday morning as well for the finale for the National Series. Unfortunately, we couldn't quite beat Bailey. That Mercedes was just absolutely rapid. So fair play to him, he deserves the title. But yeah, like I said, just massive thank you to everybody who tuned in. And you know, your support as always is greatly appreciated. Probably kept me going a bit there towards the end, if I'm brutally honest. And yeah, we still come away with P2, so second in the championship. It's probably actually, well, it's pretty impressive when you think about it, considering that we made the switch from the controller to the wheel back at the Red Bull Ring, I think it was, back at Austria. And yeah, to still be well and truly in a title fight come 10 races later is something I think to be pretty proud of. But anyway, we'll cut back on to the action now, as what's this, the end of our very first lap of the session. 34.3, nothing special there, to be honest. That's a pretty rubbish lap. Now, championship picture, I probably should go through this in a bit of detail, but there's no real need, because it's simple as this really. There's, I think it's 3 or 4 points separating myself and Josh, and basically whichever one of us finishes ahead of the other is going to win the title. That's basically what I put it down to, simple as that. Across the line for our second run of the session at 33.9, puts us P2. Originally, Tien has actually gone on the pole position. I think he's a pad player, if I'm not mistaken, so that's pretty impressive. I think the best I ever did in a league race back when I was on the controller around here was a 33.8 or a 9, or I don't know, it was something like that. But anyway, on our final qualifying lap now, and purple sector 1, as you can see, but then we make a little mistake in that chicane that has just hampered us a little bit. We're about well, we're barely up. We're basically matching our 33.9 as we come down the first of the two back straights here. We've got to make sure we get the run through this little chicane here. Absolutely spot on. Clip the apex, short shift up to third, up to fourth just before the apex, hard on the power. But as you can see, we've lost about a tenth and a half. So that run looked okay, but it's definitely not. So we've got to work it out here. We're going to have to claw back a bucket load of time here in this final sector as we fling it through left, right, left again. Use up all the road on the exit. A little bit scrappy through that left-hander there. We run a bit wide. We've gained about a tenth back so far. Now, I know there's still room for improvement here in these final few corners. So we got to get through here. Okay, under the bridge now for the final time. We're down by about half a tenth now as we come into the final two corners. Can we somehow find some time and improve on our lap into the final corner? We're green on the delta as we're going to come across the line, and somehow we've salvaged that lap to a 133.8, which puts us on pole position. Whew, I have no idea how we managed to salvage that, to be honest. We were nearly 2 tenths down and we've finished the lap about a tenth up, so a perfect lap. I reckon there's a 33.5 in that, but anyway, there we go, guys. That is the order for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Josh improved at the end as well. So the championship protagonists 1-2 on the grid. 2 Ferraris on the second row from Mackenzie Stewart and Aaron on the third row. Going to be a very interesting race. The aim, not going to lie, was just to try and maintain the lead and disappear down the road. Didn't quite work, obviously. DRS around here, very powerful. But anyway, we'll switch gears over to the race now. Strategy, oh no, I shouldn't say straightforward one stop, because there was nothing straightforward about it, I'll be brutally honest. Tyres were very, very sketchy at the end of both stints in this race. But anyway, looks like where we go for the formation lap. Yes, we are. We'll get this underway.
Okay, our system checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of the lap.
Alright, so for probably the 500th but final time, we get some useless information from the engineer, so thank you very much for that. And yeah, this is it, guys, the final race. Myself versus Josh for the title. Keep in mind, this one, if anything, probably actually meant a bit more to me than the Nationals, because I've actually done this whole championship on the wheel, and I'm actually fighting for it. So yeah, this is probably one of the more important ones to me. But there are your championship standings in this final race. 3 points separating ourselves from Josh. Constructors, fairly sewn up. Renault on 202 points, Williams 167. Ferrari could mathematically pip Williams rather, but yeah, we'll wait and see what happens there. But not going to lie, at this point the nerves were creeping in quite a lot. I was really starting to feel a little bit ordinary as we were coming around the line back up on the grid. But that's to be expected if you think about it. But anyway, here we go. Round, what is this? Round 11. So the 11th and final round of the Oceania Regionals here on the PS4 is about to get underway as we reform back on the grid, pulling up into slot number 1. Alongside us, our championship rival Josh Banks in P2. This is going to be a real sweaty but real fun final race I'm anticipating at the same time. As here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And the final race for the season is underway here at Abu Dhabi. Looks like a pretty decent start. Josh with an equally good start alongside us into T1. We leave him a bit of room, bit of contact in the left rear there as we get quite sideways. We hang on to it. Up through turns 2 and 3. Looks like we have maintained the lead at the moment. Yellow flags behind. Not too sure what that's for. I'm guessing there's been an incident. But crucially, we still have the lead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I couldn't think of what I wanted to say there. Sorry about that. But anyway, we've done exactly what we needed to do at the moment. Josh still in P2 from Tien, still in P3. So the top 3 remain unchanged at the moment. Coming on to the end of lap 1, as that was a retirement. I didn't see who that was. Virtual safety car already.
Reduce speed immediately and keep a positive delta.
Alright, there we go. Already some action. Not even one lap completed in this race, and we already have a VSC. I was half tempted to actually peel into the pits there, thinking of maybe switching over to a 2-stop. I decided against it at the last minute, as I didn't want to give up track position and maybe put myself in a bad spot come the end of the race. But anyway, we've restarted. It looks like we're all okay. Josh still very close behind us. Looks like that's Tien and Aaron going at it for P3 in the background, as I think Aaron has got that move done and he's up into P3, so pretty nice move from the Racing Point driver there. But on to the very next lap in the exact same spot, Josh getting so close to our rear wing. We actually get a little hit there up the rear wing, but surprisingly Josh actually didn't pick up any damage from that, which I thought he would, but apparently he hasn't. And now he's making a move with DRS round the outside. We're going to try and fight this. I don't want to give him track position, but I don't think we're going to have a say in the argument. He has the inside line and he gets the lead. As now we're all unsettled here as we got Aaron right behind us as well. Had to bring the car back under control there as it was very sideways, but we get it back underneath us, and yeah, we all carry on. Now the main aim really, as soon as Josh got in front, was just to make sure that I could stay close enough to get DRS. I didn't want to fall out of the 1 second window, because I felt like if I did, then that was going to be the race over, because I felt like we were pretty evenly matched on pace. But anyway, on to what is this now? On to the start of lap 5. Still comfortably sitting in the exact same positions as we get a warning for exceeding track limits. So that's our first one, so hopefully we can minimise them and not pick up a penalty, as that'd be a pretty shit way for a championship to be decided on penalties, I feel. But anyway, onto the back straight on lap 6. We're going to try and make a move on Josh round the outside. We get that done very nicely. There's now Aaron is actually trying to follow us through there. And at this point, I think Josh was actually really starting to struggle. I'm not too sure if it was just tyre wear related or tyre temp related. Could have been a combination of both as well. Not too sure there. But it did look like he was starting to struggle a little bit. And at this point, I actually felt pretty good. The car felt really nice. It was looking after its tyres well. It was looking after the temps fairly nicely as well. And as you can see, coming on to lap 8 as we come up through turns 2 and 3, we've actually been able to gap Josh. And I think we're actually out of DRS, and we are. The gap only just over a second, but that is just enough. And now Josh is going to come under attack from Aaron in the racing point, so this has done us a world of good. But now we're in a little bit of an awkward predicament here, because I actually wanted to come in at the end of lap 8, but I thought against it at the last minute, because I felt like I would have got held, because at the end of lap 8, Josh and Aaron were about 2.5 seconds back. Well, it's about 2.5 seconds for a pit stop. So, yeah, you can kind of see where my mindset was at there. But into the pits at the end of lap 9 onto lap 10. Aaron followed us in as well. Josh actually did pit on lap 8, so he's gone for the undercut, as well as James in the Ferrari. I think both of them are actually going to jump us here. As you can see them just there on the right hand side. There goes the Ferrari, and there is the Williams. So Josh has managed to undercut us there. So the undercut has gained about 3 seconds in a lap for the Williams driver. So that just goes to show how powerful it is. But here we go on to the second back straight at the end of lap 10. Josh makes a move on James. We're going to try and follow through, but we go very deep. Josh goes even deeper, but he manages to pull it up only barely. That was very close. But he gets up into P3. We get up to P4 now. And now onto the very next lap on the exact same spot. We're going to try and make a move on the Williams round the outside. That's very close, but I think we're going to get the move done. And we do, up into the provisional lead of the race, as we've got Jack just ahead of us here in the Haas on 11 lap old soft tyres. They would have to be screaming for mercy on that car right now, but he peels in at the end of the lap, and that now puts us into the lead once again. But we've got our rival right behind us here. This is going to be very close for the final 16 laps. But into the first, into the chicane at the end of the back straight, yellow flags, and Josh has been turned. Oh my goodness. Now I can say James was defending against Aaron, and he has completely not braked in time, and he's turned the Williams around. Wow.
That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up.
Alright, so yeah, that's definitely changed things up a little bit. Our championship rival and the man who was probably a little bit quicker than me, I actually felt initially, for those few laps that we got together on the mediums, has been spun around and is effectively out of the running now. I think, where is he on the minimap? I think he's only at the start-finish line now, and we're all the way just exiting turn 3, so, wow, that's, I will be honest, on one hand, I had a pretty big grin on my face when I heard the news, but at the same time, it's kind of annoying, because you don't want to win a championship battle like that.
Our gap behind is 2.5 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 9 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:39.4. They have a time penalty of 3.0.
Alright, so just getting a quick update on the penalty situation there. Aaron does have a penalty behind us. We're still on that one warning. But, yeah, as you can see, we'll head over to lap 28 now, the final lap of the season. And that's because absolutely nothing happened. A couple of pit stops were made further down the field. And that's about exciting as the last 10-12 laps of this race were. So, yeah, we were able to pull out a gap to Aaron. I think he kind of consolidated P2, to be honest, knowing that he had the penalties and we had nothing. Tyre wear was also playing on our minds, as you can see, we're just in the 70% window on the rear tyres, so they're starting to look very ordinary. But anyway, on to the second back straight now for the 28th and final time. Seb sets the fastest lap of the race there, so I don't think he's actually in the points, so I don't know if that'll count for anything, but always nice to take away something from the final race of the season. But anyway, into the final sector of Abu Dhabi we go. And man, I'm not going to lie, at this point, you know, I kind of felt like everything was coming together. I felt like it was done and dusted. I wasn't celebrating just yet, obviously, as you know, it's never over until the checkered flag falls. Anything could still happen. But as we go under the bridge for the final time, we miss that barrier, and now to the final two corners, I think we should be all good to come up and around the final corner to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, but more importantly, we win the Oceania Regionals and we are world champion. Get in there! Yes! Alright, so there we have it, guys. That has been today's video. Transnation eSports Oceania Regionals. We have won the final race, and with it the Drivers' Championship, as well as the Constructors as well. So absolutely brilliant scenes here for Renault and ourselves. But yeah, commiserations to Josh, obviously. But yeah, that's pretty damn cool. But thank you guys for watching. If you all enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe, stay tuned for plenty more. And until the next one, I'll catch you all later. Have a good one.